Okay, so here you go. Okay, so let's do this quick.
My social security?
Let's see what I got. Okay. So the Java API is the same as Java library. So everyone says library API, same thing. Just means what Java gives you for the classes that you can use. Everything from making websites, making interfaces, to working with the Android, and you can actually download different libraries from different people. People can make their own libraries. You can make a library for your own game engine library that helps you build games. Okay, that's all it is. Java has its own library, and this is one. This is part of it. Okay, we did the array list already. Array list can change dynamically. That means you can change it. You can remove one and add one. That's what's just cool about it. Okay. 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 Okay, we did the AND operators, right? This and this. Okay? Always use parentheses for your logic, like I did with Mendel's, right? The if statement over there is very complex. Okay? Make sure you use parentheses, otherwise you can get you shuggy. Okay? Remember, the not before statements means not that. So if this equals x, if it doesn't equal x, then do that. Right? Because it has a not before that. Okay?
Oh, this mean not?
Yeah. Okay, so if this brand does not equal x, then do this. Okay, this is one part I want to talk about. And in fact, I did this in Mendel's code. Let me actually open this up while I'm here. Okay, so remember Mendel's code. I have a similar one here as well. Over here. So, see over here, I do this. If it is not empty and the position 1 doesn't equal that random successor, right? If I just put this in there, which we did first, it failed. Why? Because there's nothing there, and get 0 returns an error because nothing's there. You're trying to take something out that doesn't exist, right? Well, why would this help? It still has to do this logic, right? Let me know when you get my question.
Why does it need the whole? Why does it need to know if it's empty?
So I did, if it's not empty, and this is
it's not empty or if it's empty? No.
Look, so I put this not before. Okay?
Because if it's empty, then it's pulling from nothing.
Why can't I just do if this doesn't equal that? Why do I have to put both of these?
If vleader dot get random successor get 0, because get 0 doesn't exist.
Why would this help it though? I'm still doing this and statement.
Now it exists. You opened up is empty basically opens up that gap, so say that door.
So what time say again?
So it gives it the ability. It creates it, so to say.
Okay, so you're
the remote person. No, it's more. It creates it. It allows you to. It's like saying, you have nothing in your hand and give me a battery, but if I give you a battery that's not recharged, you can charge it.
Fine, but so over here, if I just do, I'm gonna use a whole separate piece of paper, so it makes it a lot easier. Watch this. Does the book have an example in here? Let me see if the book has an example. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Okay, so here's a good example. here's ref. You see this? And this. Oops. Okay. So say there's a thing called isValid type. It's a method, right? On a certain thing. Ignore for a fact what it is at the moment. But say ref var is null. It's not pointing to anything, so you can't call this, right? That'll fail. But this itself works because if it's this statement you're allowed to do, right? Okay. Yes or no?
Well, ref var equals null, just equals null. No.
Okay. So, but how come this now does not fail? That's the question.
How come it doesn't fail?
Yeah. What if it is null?
But it's n.
Still, is it checking? Isn't it checking this?
So you tell me that this will actually work?
This will work. How come? And this is what I'm getting to. This AND is called the short circuit operator. Short circuit means if this is not true, it exits even before it does this one. And that's why this works.
What for?
Look, if I let's copy and paste this. Watch.
Ah, I get it.
Not you. Okay. Watch this.
I get it.
What's going on here? Okay.
I get it.
I'm gonna use pseudocode, okay? Because I don't want to.
That makes sense.
Oops. What's going on here?
So if it's null, then I'll just skip the next part.
Oh, I think.
If it's null, just skip the next part.
There we go. That's the key thing. Look. This will fail. If I just do this, this will only work if ref var has something in there. Right? Let's give you a simple example. Watch this. Okay. So here we go. Dog one is fat. Print. You know. I am fat. Right? Will this work? It'll only work if dog one is actually pointing to something. But if I go over here and dog one, you know, I do dog one, just like this. I don't assign it to any dog yet. This will fail.
So you put if it's null.
So the actual array has nothing in it yet because we didn't put anything in it.
So forget array. This is just a dog reference variable.
I know. I'm just saying in our example.
Yeah. But over here, so let's look at this. So this dog one is referenced up to a dog, but it has nothing yet. This won't work, and this will work. And why? That's the question.
Because look, I'm gonna tell you. If the one not equal to null,
Yeah.
no null, so it's doing the other one and get you the other answer for the dog fat, because it's not null. But if it's null, you just skip it because there is no necessary to check the second one.
There we go. Perfect. Okay, because AND means they're both true, and it knows if it's not true, don't even check the other side. Okay, so that's a key thing with a short circuit. You have to use it all the time. We used it in Mendel's version of the code. We needed it because we had to check what the size was. But
Can you go to yours for a second? Just have a question. Yeah. So see, we did the end, but then what about the empty? It's empty.
what about it?
Why? Your
Is empty-
question wasn't end. Your question is empty. If
No,
it's empty, right?
If it's not empty, because it's not,
Sorry. If it's not empty,
which works
then
fine,
put the second
because the
part.
list is for sure there.
So then what's it say is skip that line.
What's your question? What's your
It's
question?
gonna say skip that. It's gonna skip that line, right?
So if this is empty,
Right. If
It's gonna go to
empty,
here.
skip. Then we'll go to the next one,
right,
which will do what?
it's going to continue the code. Whether the code does, it's going to go to. It's
Eventually, you're gonna have to put something in there.
where?
Something
This is-
has to go into random unsuccessor.
This is an if statement. All the way from here to here.
Right. Something has to go.
If leader does not need this one, if it doesn't need this one, and if the list is empty, or it's not empty but it doesn't equal the first one, then assign it over here.
And now once it's assigned, then we go to the second loop. And
Yeah.
now the
Now it's going to check the first
or
one.
is gonna right.
This is actually going to work. It's not empty, and does it equal this first one? Yes or no?
Then it's gonna go that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same code for yours. Okay, so that's the key thing to understand. This is a short circuit operator.
Yeah, can you go back to your thing?
So I'm looking at the
You,
second
when you
part.
go down, you delete the second for loop also in yours.
Yeah, we did
So,
that.
so we don't need a second for loop.
Yeah, don't worry about it. There's different ways of doing code. Remember, there's a million ways to do code.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yours is fine. You want to go back and clean it up and do it like
Wow,
Mendel's?
yeah, I like this one. I get it now. So it's either or it's that, or if it's not that, then basically once you already get it in, no matter how many times after that, the second part, the or part, or vleader dot get random is empty, will just always be skipped. This is something new.
Right. So the first loop, this is for sure.
That's all for the first loop.
Right. So the first loop, it's going to for sure be empty. So it's not going to go to the second part and go to the end. It's going to add. It's going to add this. Next loop, it's going to check. It's not empty. That's true. And it's going to check. Does it equal the first guy already? Right?
Right.
It better not, because I'm putting not over here.
And if it's not, it's going to skip the second part.
If it's not, right, it doesn't see it, and we go in here and add it. Okay, so this
But
is the key
that's
thing.
keeping the or.
What?
It is going to skip it because it already exists. vleader dot get random successor that is empty. It's just one or the other. It's not even going to look at the second.
Right. This just like this is a short circuit, or is also a short circuit. If this is true, it doesn't need to go to the second part.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, then
okay,
it doesn't
yeah.
work.
Right? Look, if I did like this, right? This is also a short circuit. If this is true, boom, doesn't have to go to here either. Now, when you use that, you'll
But if it's not true, it's going to the second one.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of and.
yeah. They're both short circuit in the sense that over here, if this is true, it won't go to the second one. Over here,
That's not true.
right, it won't go to the second.
Yeah, you need to- okay.
But they're both short circuit. In other words, it stops the circuit right over there. Boom, cut off. This you can use also, and this you can use also as well. They both mean and or, but don't use those ever, because those are not short circuits.
Yeah.
So if you use this, the same error will happen, because it's not. It's going to check
No, the
both.
only time I'll ever use and is like the case that we had before, where
Never use it.
no
Fine.
y plus is not what do you call it, and is not x, y, and z.
Why if you use a short? You still want to use a short circuit. If one's
So
not
you
true,
get
get out of it. They have to pass all the things. Why? There's no reason ever to use an and. I'll tell you, you never have to.
In our case, look at our case. In our case, would we write if y
Come here.
equals
Look, this. So this. If vleader does not equal this.
no, not that situation. In this situation where if remember a y situation that we had before, if president y is semicolon president list, that if president y, then if y is not equal to
That's
x.
this over here. This is it. This vleader does not equal the random successor, and the leader successor doesn't equal this random successor. The same thing, just different name of variables. But still, this ends you
So we
fine.
use and then, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so in
Always
all
use
future
it.
reference, always
Never
use it.
ever use and. The only one, the reason why they create it is for a totally different reason. For like bits. Don't worry about it. You're never gonna use it. I never use it my entire life.
What?
The other version, like just using this, the non-short circuit and ors. Never use it. Unless you get into some weird position where you're working with like low-level code where you're mixing bytes. I don't even know how to use it.
that point, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you don't have to just forget about it. Always use the and recognize it's a short circuit. That if by an and statement, if the first part fails, it won't even go to the second part. And by an or, if the first pass is true, it won't even go to the second part. Okay? That's a short circuit. That is it for the thing, except for now the Java library thing. So basically in the Java API, everything's grouped into packages. Packages are just like different areas of code. You have Java packages for game development, packages for working with
Yeah, check that
internet,
out.
packages working for language things, packages working for
You talked that already.
Okay, so you taught this already. For example, mat. Well, let's see over here. Swing, right, is a package. Okay?
What about math.random? That's a method. And that goes that you don't need to do Java utility to get math.random.
Because math already is under the language one, and it automatically comes with it.
How do we know if it comes with it or not?
Well, for example, we're using so many things that come with it already. For example, I mean, you're right. How do you know? I mean, all this stuff all these stuff come with it because they're inside language already. In other words, the ones you use all the time, you don't have to import.
Right.
And you'll just figure it out. But most of the stuff you're going to use, general stuff, is don't have to import. Then you start getting into specific applications, like working with networks or working with, Swing and making actually GUIs. Then you'll use it. Okay. So anything in the Java lang, you don't have to import. It's imported already. Okay. Why do you make packages? first they make things organized, right? You have to put all your classes in one area. You have one package that holds, one part of your game, one package that holds the GUI part, one part for the lower database part. Okay? Also for name scoping, we'll see this later on. But for example, say we have a big company, and I'm a big class in our company, and the class is called, I don't know, let's call it, laptop. It's a laptop class, right? Because I need it for my code I'm making. What if another guy in a different department is a programmer, and he's making a laptop class too? Well, if we're in different packages, which usually when you're as a programmer, you know your package well because that's who you're familiar with. You know that you can create this because no one else in your team is making this one. That guy can create his one because they're the same name, but they're in different packages, and that's fine. Okay, so that it helps people be able to make same names for classes and not knock each other out because they're in different packages. Okay. Also, they give you a little security, but we'll know later.
You have to be obviously you'll know that person.
Yeah, whenever you have to import that package, you can see what's in there and see that he has a class the same name.
Right.
But there can be a million packages. You know what I mean? You go through the Java API, there's tons of packages. Let's go over. I think I have a link over here. Did I use the link? I added the link. There's a link. I thought I had it. Oh, here it is. Here's a link to the Java API. So if you go over here, here's the API.
What?
See, here's the packages.
I have
See over here? Look how many packages there are on the Java API. There's tons. This is packages. Okay, so there's a package for security. Click over here, and here's all the interfaces. We haven't learned the interfaces yet. We'll learn later on. Here's all the classes. Okay, for security type of stuff. Then you want to find stuff. So you're working with, AWT. Don't worry about that. We're not going to do too much of this. Why? Because when we go into Android has its own packages and classes that we'll deal with. So we're not going to really go into depth. This, you'll go into depth if you ever get a job that's Java and not Android. Okay, because most of the stuff, when you get to Android, we're going to use one specifically for Android. Okay.
So sorry, I'm not going to go to Java Apple.
Okay, so remember, in the beginning of your file, like we did over here, once you import it, so we imported this. This will be the package. This would be the class of this package, right? So now we can use this everywhere, no problem. If I wanted to, I could go like this, and we get every single class that's under this util. For example, if you go over here, let's go to Java util. Oh, that's Java. Let's go to Java util. There you go. So under here, Java util, there's many classes. Okay, we're just using the array list. If I did do .star, I can use array list, I can use bitset, I can use date, whatever I want. But I don't want to bring everything in. I'm just gonna go like this. Okay.
It costs more.
It doesn't cost anything more. Zero nada.
So it just always do that.
Well.
Oh, you don't want to screw up your other guy.
No, it's fine. It's just this way. You can. If you're using a couple, just do it like this. Name it, because it is clear what you're using it for. Do .star. It's not gonna be. If this helps the programmer know I'm bringing utility in because all I need is an array list. Okay. If you're using 10, yeah,
should I do like three different ones?
Yeah.
Like import the Java, one right after the other.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Import, reload. Okay,
cool.
If you're using more than a couple in that utility package, just do .star.
Probably not very often.
Yeah. I don't know. When you get into like GUIs, you can start using tons. So you just do .star and you reference what you want. GUI just means everything that's visual is GUI. This is a GUI over here, right? In contrast to this is not a GUI. This is the command line. Anything that's visual is a GUI. GUI just means graphical user interface. That's all it means. Okay, so that is that. So how do you learn the API? Now the answer is you don't, because it's not, an API is infinite. It literally goes on forever. So what you basically do is you want to buy a book. Later when we're done with this, don't do it now, because it's going to distract you. You buy a book that has the Java API. There's a book called, right over here it is, Java in a Nutshell. It's a book that has the entire API. You can skim through it, it gives you examples of certain libraries and packages that they have and what you can use it for. And you can see if you want to use it. But usually what you'll actually do is say we're going to build Android, which we're going to next. The book that will get an Android, which we will do, will teach us the libraries we need to know.
Right, but it's
And then if you want to research it more, you can go on Google and try to find more stuff. But the best way really to do it is find a book on that thing you're trying to build. That'll teach you most of what you need to know, and then from there, a book will help you just for quick reference if you want to check some more stuff out. Okay? That is it. That's chapter 6.
All right.
Make sure nothing changed. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Fabi, that's it. Chapter 6 is done. We're on to chapter 7.